Welcome to the Leadership Lounge, your go-to podcast for insightful conversations, expert advice, and strategies to elevate your leadership. I'm your host, Karie Millspaugh, best-selling author, award-winning motivational speaker, and executive leadership coach. In my profession, I've seen firsthand the daily stresses executives face and how, together, we've overcome these challenges with expert guidance. Whether you're a seasoned leader, aspiring executive, or entrepreneur, this show is for those ready to lead with impact and purpose. This isn't just about theory, it's about practical, real-life application. Tune in for inspiring stories, actionable advice, and leadership lessons you can implement right away to drive success in your career and organization. Let's dive into today's episode. Well, hello there. Welcome back to another episode of the Leadership Lounge. I'm your host, Karie Millspaugh. And today we're going to dive into a topic that affects more people than we might realize, burnout. Whether you're a corporate executive, an entrepreneur, just someone that's trying to climb the corporate ladder, single mom. There's a lot of things I can think of. It's not just for those in the workplace, but I do want to key into that as that's my main audience. But if you're a single mom, stay-at-home mom, whatever that looks like, I welcome you as well, because you're probably tuned into this for a reason. Certain keyword burnout popped up in your, podcast algorithms for a reason. So here you are, welcome. So in this episode, we're going to explore the top 10 signs, because there's lots of signs, but these are the major 10 signs of burnout. And I'm going to offer some actionable tips on how to avoid it and overcome it. I'd rather you avoid it than overcome it. It's like cancer. Why can't we just prevent it first? It's a lot cheaper than it is to try to cure it or get it to a stage where it's dormant, right? So same with burnout. Hate to kind of associate it with cancer, but that's the first thing that came to my mind. So if you've been feeling stressed, overwhelmed, on the verge of giving up, stick around because this episode's for you. So let's get real clear first, what is burnout exactly? And you might have your own kind of thought process or what you think it is. Let's start with the basics, okay? So what is it exactly? It's more than just feeling tired or stressed. It's a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion, okay? So it's not just, I need a nap. It's caused by prolonged stress and overwork. And often that feeling of helplessness, you're kind of cynical, you're unmotivated, and in the corporate world, the pressure to perform, meet deadlines, manage teams can create a perfect storm for burnout. So how do you know if you're experiencing burnout versus just having a bad week or I'm just having an off day or even a bad month, right? That happens. That kind of brings us to the top 10 signs of burnout. I'm just going to stop for a minute before we dive into those 10 signs and talk about a little bit of, just personally what I'm going through. And I want to always focus on this podcast as relatability. That's key with my audience. I'm not just here to help leaders. I'm not here just to give advice. I'm not here to just promote books that I've written or tell you to join my newsletter list or go to find me on LinkedIn or whatever that looks like. That's great. And I hope you get some type of benefit or value out of everything I share. But it's more of, I'm a guide from the side. That's how I've always coached. That's how I've written my books. I'm that girlfriend's guide. That's that girl that you're going to take to coffee and connect with because I've been there. And I love leaders and coaches and motivational speakers and keynote type of speakers and those that teach from a space of I've been there. And I like to hire those type of people that get it because they've been there too. It's not just a relatability or a place of compassion. It's true empathy. It's, I get it, girl. I've been there. It sucks. I feel what you're going through and I want to help you out of it. I've not just been in that fire. I overcame it. So I'm going to jump in the fire with you and show you where the exit strategy is. Where's your exit signs? How can I get out of this? And that's truly how I choose to lead. And this podcast platform gets to be that for me. So thank you for letting me be here with you today. I am ironically going through a cold or trying to overcome a cold right now. How's that for real? Speaking of, and I haven't had a cold in a long time, so I think it's just my turn. Maybe I'm going through my own burnout stage. Maybe this is why this topic is important to me, because I'm starting to see symptoms myself or signs. So you're going to get real talk in real time. I usually don't like to talk about things until I'm on the other side of them. And I don't think I'm there yet. I think I'm in this perfect storm of I'm going to break if I don't make some changes. And I want to share real talk with you today of what I'm doing that's making a difference, what I'm doing that's going to and has helped this past year. I have recently uprooted my life. I was living in Vegas for over 15 years. So yes, that's a long time to live in one area. And I chose to raise my daughter there and just kind of get her through high school. And then, praise the Lord, the door opened where it was perfect timing to move back home to where I've always wanted to live, my hometown, Traverse City, where my heart and soul never left. I was 15 when my parents moved me away, and I honestly have done everything I could, waiting for the perfect opportunity to move back. And there was lots of times that the door opened a crack, but then it shut again. Probably 3 or 4 times. I published an article on it last year around this time, just discussing that. If you've ever had that opportunity for a second chance, I love when life gives you do-overs, and that's exactly what it feels like. But let's be real, there's a lot of change that happened. And I'll be real another step further. Praise the Lord, I got to bring my daughter with, and I'm going to be drinking a lot of water through this episode, so just bear with me. I could have put this off, but I didn't want to. Praise the Lord God that my daughter got to come with me in this move. It was perfect time. And I'm also grateful her boyfriend of 5 years also chose to relocate his life. So it's not just me going through the change of relocation. It's 2 others in the household as well. My roommates, so to speak, my adult daughter and her adult boyfriend. So that was an adjustment. I'm in a new city, adjustment number 1. Number 2, and I want you to, again, think of your life, what you're enduring before I go into these 10 signs of burnout, and see where you also are learning resilience and pivoting and pivoting and pivoting some more and learning to ride that wave. And it's like, no more waves, Lord. I'm done. I'm good. Could you stop with the wave machine? Let's turn it off. So I'm adjusting to new city, different life, 4 seasons again, no more desert, sunshine, and dryness. No offense, but it kind of got old. It was like Groundhog's Day every day with the same old sunshine. I like the seasons. I like weather. I like a good thunderstorm. I like a snowstorm. I know that sounds weird to some of you that have endured plenty of winters, but I love the change of seasons. And right now we're getting ready to approach fall. It's October 3rd as I'm recording this, and I'm excited about it. I love the change of the seasons. It's just something exciting about new attire to wear, pulling out warmer clothes, snuggle weather, right? Who doesn't love that? New season, new holidays, new changes. So let's say a year ago, around this time, I'm adjusting to a smaller town, less availability. I miss some of my favorite restaurants. I miss my big gym. I miss my church, all the things. But yet I embraced quality of life that I didn't even think I was missing, to be honest. Having family close by and just the real hometown vibe that my hometown gives here in Michigan. And overall, I'm, thinking maybe I should have done this sooner because I really, really missed it. I really did. And I'm going to pause and get a cough drop. Okay, I'm back. I could edit this out, but why? I like real talk, right? Don't you? I actually appreciate the podcast hosts that I listen to pretty real talk as well. So back to adjustments. Living in a new place, Amazon deliveries take longer. It's not the big city anymore. It's a small town. It's not as fancy. I didn't bring any of my fancy Vegas shoes with me. It's a little more casual, so to speak. And there's an adjustment. And I've got family around me, which is a positive and a negative if you look at it both ways. It's a positive because they're right around me and I feel supportive, and I love that I can see my sisters, my mom and dad, and extended family as well, whenever I want to. But then it's also that pressure where I was so used to having such a quiet solitude life of just my daughter and me in Vegas that I now have the pressure to probably commit more to family engagements, spend time with them when they're in town, go to events, which don't get me wrong, I love that opportunity to see like my niece and nephew in sports and doing school activities, watching my niece play or running track and my nephew play in the bands and all the things, right? Another adjustment, less time, more family time and less alone time. Then we're going to add in, I have a boy living with me now. That's my daughter's boyfriend. I never had a son, much less an adult son. This is an adjustment for both of us because they weren't living together before. So we've now got him in the house. I didn't spend, he's new to me. I have my daughter, Shyla, trained. No dirty dishes in the sink. This is what we do. We clean up. This is what we do. We don't, we're just pretty courteous. It's very much it was always a chick pad, okay, so to speak. I used to joke and say it was a sorority house. But now we have a boy in the house and he works on cars and he's a mechanic and he's got dirty fingers and there's white stuff everywhere. I like all my white, nice things. And now there's fingerprints and the garage is a mess and he's working on cars and poor guy. And he does things differently. He doesn't clean the dishes before he puts them in the dishwasher. He just kind of dumps them in there. So we're learning. And it's been a year. So that's a layer, another layer on top of a layer of learning and pivoting. And I became, I got into a relationship really quickly, about a month in of moving back. And I was just kind of exploring the dating world. Thought, I'll put myself back out there. I think I'm ready, but I'm not, but I am. So I was just really busy with just getting adjusted and settled in. And I jumped all in, fell head over heels in love, never looked back, just 100% all in. We are very close, compatible. He feels like my soulmate. I love him dearly. So with that adjustment is that a relationship. This is new. This is different. I haven't been in a committed relationship for a long period of time. In a long time. In a really long time. A lot of short stints, 3, 6 months, 8 months, that kind of thing. But it's going on a year now. So that's an adjustment. On top of that, he has 2 kids as well. And they've been a part of my life along with their activities and sports and needs and so on. So add that layer on top of the layer, on top of the layer, on top of the layer that's happened this past year. And just to touch that off, some career changes have been in place too. Things that I've been doing for the last 3 to 5 years have shifted and are no longer my day-to-day routine. And sometimes when you get so many patterns that change, you need that one constant when you're trying to achieve work-life balance, which is what I honestly think burnout stems from. You see, in my opinion, you can't have all the parts to your work-life balance wheel, whatever that looks like, emotional well-being, family life, personal life, work life, your physical well-being, and so on. We can't work on all the buckets at the same time. Some of them just have to naturally be filled by default. For example, when you've got personal life stuff happening, work needs to just be a constant. You need to know that's a solid, I'm going there every day. This is what it gets to look like. And same with the other way around. If you're looking for a new job or a new role or your next career adventure or business adventure, you want your personal life to be stable. You want that to be set on a solid rock foundation. And I'm here to tell you the only solid rock foundation that exists is the Lord, in my opinion. There is no other solid rock better than that. That's the only thing that doesn't shift or change is God's unconditional love. But aside from that, it's hard to achieve that work-life balance when everything seems like it's kind of shifty. And that's again something to take a close look to your life. Are you on shifting sand? Is there some areas that are not on a solid rock like you'd like them to be? Okay, so with that and all those changes that I'm going through this past year, I feel like just when I get to catch my breath, a new change shows up. Or I just start to feel like this is a routine, normal, a new change shows up. And God only gives us what we can actually handle. So I'm blessed that the Lord has given me so much change in the past year to adapt to learn to be resilient for, to recognize that I have so much strength inside of me. Over the years, I've built up that strong mindset, the armor, the skill set needed to consistently roll with the punches. It's a learned behavior. I can't suggest it enough. Sometimes the only way to learn it is to go through it. So I have taken up a hobby called backpacking. Thanks to my boyfriend, he's really opened me up to this new adventure. We've done 7 trips this past year. And honestly, that is what's kept me grounded. Nothing keeps you more grounded, especially if you're an empath like me, than being in nature. And we have stayed in such beautiful spots. We both love quality time, and it is our favorite to just check out and enjoy each other, enjoy our surroundings, enjoy the hiking part, enjoy the gorgeous northern Michigan views. I cannot stress enough how beautiful it is. And we have went from April into October now of having our weekends, and that is what's kept me sane, I swear. So that's my strategy, was to try a new hobby this year, and I recommend doing it with somebody you love. It makes it even better and more richer, and the memories are sweeter. But if you don't have that in place, at least find something you're passionate about just to try. And I've got lots of hobbies. I've got lots of activities I do. I'm a very active person. But this year, that was a new one for me, along with all the gear that comes with it. It's been fun. So I'm going to jump in. I just had to share from my heart and soul today. I wanted to connect with you. And then I'm going to get into the strategy piece, because that's why you're here, right? Let's learn. So what are these 10 signs? Okay, this is time to reflect. Get out a pen and paper if you need to, and just write it down. And if you've not seen some, be on the lookout, okay? Because I don't want you to get to prevention. I want to get to the prevention piece, not the help get me out of here stage. I don't want you to be beyond. I don't want you to check into a remote island somewhere, literally. Like, where can I run away and hide? Because many have done that. They'll go to extreme strength or extreme lengths, quitting everything, quitting their corporate job, running away to a remote space, maybe backpacking through Europe, and that's fine. But some do it for months and months and months at a time, check out of their life, because they just want to run away from everything. And I don't want you to be there if you can help it, okay? So let's talk about these 10 key signs of burnout to look out for. Number 1 is exhaustion. And this isn't just, I'm tired, I need a nap. This is that deep sense of fatigue that doesn't go away, even after a full night's sleep or a weekend of rest. I know I'm still okay because I'm being vulnerable with you and letting you know I'm going through stuff. And I'm looking past this year and going, of course, Karie, you're exhausted. You relocated your life across the country from Las Vegas to Michigan. That alone requires some chill time. But I didn't really get it because my past boss called me within that week, ready to come back to work. I've got work for you to do. It's all contract stuff, but let's go. So I really didn't have much time to take a breath. And then I met a man a couple of weeks later, and it's just been go, go, go ever since. So exhaustion, take a look into it. It's not just a chill time. Number 2 key sign to look for is lack of motivation. If you used to be excited about your work, but now even the simplest task feels like a massive effort, like if I don't have the bandwidth for this, I don't have the capacity to care anymore, that could be a big red flag, okay? Lack of motivation. Number 3, decreased productivity. If you're putting the hours but your output isn't what it used to be, it's like you're working on autopilot but not getting anywhere. Do you feel like you're just spinning your wheels? You're not really seeing progress like before. The energy you're putting into it's just not there. That's a big one. Number 4, negative attitude. You might see this in yourself, your spouse, your kids, your coworkers. Be on the lookout. Seriously, like, tune in, not out of judgment, but because you care. You're seeing them heading towards a burnout stage. Negative attitude is if you find yourself becoming more cynical or bitter towards your job, coworkers, or life in general, it's a major red flag. Like an example, you see someone on a meeting and They're rolling their eyes. This will never work. I don't know what you're thinking. We tried this already. This is so dumb. I can't believe they're doing that. Like just that cynical stuff. Or you're just biting at people all around you, your kids, your significant other, whatever that looks like. And you just see yourself negative all the time. Nothing pulls you out of it. That's a red flag. Number 5, detachment. What does this look like? You might feel emotionally distant or numb, unable to connect with your colleagues, family, friends like you used to. Like you might go to a girlfriend's happy hour and you're just sitting there like, can't relate to anything you're saying, don't care. Just find yourself kind of drifting off. Or family dinner, you're just kind of like, detachment. That's not good. I just got back from our annual girls trip where a cousin of mine's daughter has an Airbnb up on the Sheboygan River in northern Michigan. It's just beautiful. It's 3 stories, 3 full bathrooms, lots of bedrooms. Plenty of us slept there, and I think there was 12 of us, if not more. Just cousins, aunts, mom, my sisters. I didn't want to go because I felt like my life is too crazy right now. There's too many shifting pieces. I need to stay home and try to control everything. Again, another sign. I'm trying to control too much. I thought, you know what? I need to let go and just go connect. And at first I was detached. Like, I don't want to. I can't. I have nothing left in me. In fact, we went Friday. That Saturday morning, I woke up with this cold, sore throat, feeling drained. And I think it's because I finally let myself just be. Isn't it interesting how we always get sick right as we just let go? Like on vacation, that first day of vacation, it's because your body's finally stopping. You're not in fight or flight mode anymore. And that's not good for your adrenal system, right? Your adrenal glands and everything, your lymphatic system. You need to chill. It's okay. Give yourself permission to just check out. Have some personal time. And I'm grateful I wasn't feeling detached. I had a cousin there I hadn't seen 5 years. I couldn't wait to connect with her. Hadn't seen her. We've talked, but we haven't seen each other physically in over 5 years. So if you're feeling detached and you see yourself at these family gatherings, or gosh, I still see little pieces where, and it could be just because I have a cold this week, but I'm usually more engaging, and I'll see myself just kind of go into my bubble and disassociate from everything because I can't handle everything right now. And that could be a red flag for you too. Number 6, health issues. Burnout can manifest physically, headaches, stomach problems, other stress-related ailments that weren't an issue before. Are you noticing, you're just feeling sick all the time? Your brain could be in overdrive, which affects your gut. Okay, so let's just throw some wellness coaching in there. Do you have headaches? Are you having a hard time sleeping? Again, I'm getting a cold. I never get sick. Never, ever. The occasional stomach ache, yeah, from something you ate. Yes, but never to the point where I feel drained, running a fever, feverish, sick, laying in bed, forcing myself to sleep for 12 hours or lay there for 12 hours. Take a look, again, it's cold season, it's the fall. I'm sure there's a part of that, but kind of go deep into that. Number 7, sleep problems, insomnia, waking up in the middle of the night, or constantly feeling restless. Burnout often disrupts your sleep patterns. I will sleep for a long time, and then this morning I catch myself waking up at 4, but again, it's a cold, can't breathe very well right now. I'm a little congested. If you're, going through perimenopause, you might be having hot flashes. So that's a big sleep interrupter, and that can create some massive fatigue. So please take a look into that. Look into a podcast about hormones, natural hormones and perimenopause. Highly recommend doing that naturally. It's something I worked on myself and kind of solidified a great solution a couple years ago. Made a huge difference in my sleep patterns. But look at that. Your brain could be racing. You can't fall asleep because your brain is trying to strategize and solve problems in your subconscious that are just kind of burning back there. Number 8, irritability. Do you find yourself snapping at the people more than usual? When burnout sets in, your patience can run thin. Are you being kind of snappy, which I mentioned before was that negative attitude? Are you just short with people and you don't know why? There's something there. Something's going on in that subconscious or just below the surface. Could be a sign. Number 9, isolation. You may start avoiding social situations, both at work and in your personal life, preferring to retreat to your own space. Again, I talk about this all the time. I'm an empath. I'm an introvert. I love alone time. That's how I recharge my batteries. That's when I go from one barely bar to 4. Boop, instantly alone time. And if that's not your case, you're just seeing like, no, this isn't normal. This isn't because I've had too much social time. I need to be isolated all the time. Take a look at that, okay? Take a look at it. Get clear on it. And number 10 is a sense of failure. One of the most damaging aspects of burnout is that overwhelming feeling that you're not good enough or that you're failing despite your efforts. Been there, done that. Feeling that way sometimes now. A sense of failure of, oh, I've tried everything and nothing's working. Why is it not working? What's going on? And watch that self-talk, okay? So that's gloom and doom, Karie, right? Let's just go through that real quick. Number 1, exhaustion. Number 2, lack of motivation. Number 3, decreased productivity. Number 4, negative attitude. Number 5, detachment. Number 6, health issues. Number 7, sleeping problems. Number 8, irritability. Number 9, isolation. Number 10, sense of failure. So how can we get some tips to avoid this, right? Like, oh, Karie, you just described me. I think I'm all 10 or at least 5. Hey, this is your warning sign. It's time to make some changes quick before you check into that remote island, okay? And make sure there's a room next door for me, okay? Just being real. So, have you counted how many times I say, okay? It's something I do, and I'm trying to break the habit, so hold me accountable. All right, so number 1, set boundaries. This is one of the biggest things ever to avoid burnout. It's easy to blur the lines between work and personal life, especially with remote work. Establish clear boundaries, whether that's turning off email after a certain time, saying no to non-essential meetings, or scheduling regular breaks. Your well-being should always come first. I love remote work, but that is where it can get blurry. And I would work, and I always have worked on multiple time zones. But I'm really good at, like, this is my sweet spot of calls. If I check an email at 10 o'clock at night, that's on me. If I choose to respond, even more on me. I try not to. I try to stay within my zone of work, my zone of genius. And I like to chunk up my time. That's just how most people are wired. Employees too. And if you're an executive listening to this, tune into that piece, okay? There'll be future episodes on flexibility and the work-life balance of your employees, okay? It's just a reality, especially for virtual world. We just work better. If you want to get the most productivity out of your employees, let them work in their sweet spots. It might be early morning, might be early afternoon, might be late night, who knows? But let them choose. And I'm really good with that. And it took me a while when I first started working virtually over a decade ago of not saying yes to the client in New Zealand, for God's sakes, because they found me on Facebook Messenger and decided to blow up my phone at 2 a.m. These are my times that I work. I'll respond here. This is the best platform to email me. Don't use social media to message me. You have to set the boundaries, because I was getting resentful. I started to hate what I did just because I felt pulled in many directions, not just during the week, but also on the weekends. So get clear on the boundaries. These are work hours. Shut it down. Gotta have virtual office hours. Number 2, prioritize self-care. Self-care isn't just a buzzword. I know you hear it a lot. It's essential. It's not selfish at all. Okay? Whether it's exercise, meditation, reading, hobbies, make sure your activities that recharge you are outside of work. Make sure you've got those activities outside of work. Again, I mentioned my backpacking, weekend hiking, and so on. Huge. Find that and check out. Please find a new hobby. Whatever it is, it's so much fun just to immerse yourself in something you love doing. Number 3, take regular breaks. You know that there's, and I'm probably going to screw up how you say it. The Pomodoro technique is a great way to structure your workday. Work for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break. After 4 cycles, take a longer 20 to 30-minute break. This keeps your mind fresh and prevents burnout from setting in. I probably work more than 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break. I say do what works for you. Try it out After 4 cycles, again, after 2 hours, see if you're ready for that 20 to 30 minute break. I have a hard time getting back into focus work and getting that zone of genius kind of where you feel like I'm in the zone. I have nothing but I have my blinders on and I'm so in it. I don't want to interrupt that zone. Play it by ear, okay? But if you see yourself starting to get distracted and you're picking up your phone and other things, it's time for a break. You need a mental break, okay? Number 4, delegate. Oh my goodness, this is a good one. You don't have to do it all. Learn to delegate tasks that don't need your immediate attention and trust your team to handle their responsibilities. And just for that stay-at-home mom that I mentioned in the beginning of the episode, get a nanny, get a daycare provider, swap play dates with a friend that also has kids kids age, whatever it is, to get a little break here and there. Okay, delegate the hard stuff. You don't have to be all end all. You don't have to carry this load by yourself. Okay. Number 5, talk about it. If you're feeling burnt out, I already feel better just doing this podcast. If you have a platform like this, use it. If you have a blog, use it. If you have a YouTube channel, use it. Instagram, go live, talk about burnout. If you're feeling burned out, have a girlfriend lunch and talk about it. Don't just keep it to yourself. Talk to a trusted colleague, or like me, put it out there on social media for all the world to hear publicly. Talk to your boss, even a mentor. I hear it all the time from my clients. I even look for the red flags first and bring it up often with my clients. I get it when you're in leadership. There's a lot on your shoulders, and that's why I'm being so vulnerable in today's episode, just to let you know I get it. I get it. And we're going to work on the strategies to get you out of it, or that you don't go into it and just prevent it altogether. So even a mentor is a good place to start. Maybe you have a therapist, maybe, again, sister, friend, somebody you can just call up and say, I think I'm burned out, and this is my symptoms. Sometimes just acknowledging the problem can help ease the pressure. Isn't it interesting how, I'm burned out. I'm going to give myself grace. I'm going to give myself permission to have a little grace and look at what I've been tolerating and look at what I've been dealing with and look at the things I've been holding and holding and holding some more. And no wonder you're going to crack, sister friend, brother friend, whoever you are on the other side of this episode. I feel you. I'm giving you permission to let it down. Let it go. Release it. If you're a faith believer like me, set it at Jesus' feet. That's what I do. I try. I'm not really good at it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this to my creator today, my Lord. And then I'll come back the next day and pick it back up again. Okay, thanks for holding this for me. I'm going to take it. I'm putting it in my little backpack because I'm a backpacker now. No, that's not what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to leave it at the foot of Jesus and just walk away. And if you're not a believer, I encourage you to look into that because it works. But there's a method that works for you. Where can you let this go? Maybe, again, just talking to a trusted friend. Just that release. Give yourself some grace. Get that pressure off of your back, okay? So, number 6, time management. Break your task down into manageable steps and focus on completing just one thing at a time. This prevents overwhelm and gives you a sense of accomplishment. I know it's hard, especially if you work in big tech. I've worked with so many of you Microsoft employees that you are jumping from meeting to meeting to meeting. You're like, Karie, I would love to work on one task at a time, but I'm in one meeting prepping over here and looking at all my screens to get prepped for the next meeting. You're not even fully present. You're in this one meeting, checking your chat over here, making sure the slides are ready to go from whoever's supporting you, working with you. Maybe it's a vendor, or doing it yourself so that you can be prepared for that next meeting that starts in 10 minutes. I know it's crazy. I'd love to help you get past that overwhelm. There are strategies that work, okay? Trust me, there are. Focus on one thing at a time. I'm really good at multitasking, at least I think I am, but really I'm not. I'm giving a small percentage to one thing at a time, and I'm just stretching myself thin. I'm really not giving 100%. And just staying focused, because I'm such a quality time person. If I have scheduled time with you, I'm going to put my phone away and I'm going to focus on you. We're going to have a coffee chat, or it's a virtual chat like this, or I'm meeting you in person. I am present. I like to be present with those that I love. If I've got my daughter with me, I want to just give her the time. If I'm scheduled time to talk to mom on the phone, I want to just give her the time and just put my feet up and listen. If I'm with my man, I want to just give him the time. I love quality time. And you've got to really train your brain to stay connected in the present moment in order to achieve that yummy quality time with anyone. Number 7, stay connected. Okay, it's the opposite of isolation. Stay connected with friends, family, coworkers. Sometimes just a coffee chat can lift your spirits and give you the support you need. I cannot recommend it enough. Have a quick girlfriend chat. Pick up your best friend, pick up your best friend and say, girl, we're going to go shopping. I'm going to treat you to dinner, or let's just go have, coffee and some pastries. Go get yourself some pumpkin spice. It's that time of year, pumpkin spice lattes. Go do it. I know sometimes you just want to go within, because I'm really good. That's my default, is to go within and isolate. I want to get better. I want to fix Karie. I like to be the strong one. And until I feel strong again, I'm just going to go hide. That doesn't solve anything. You actually feel better. Give yourself the space to have alone time too. But if you find yourself having too much alone time, you actually will go backwards in your progress. So stay connected. Number 8, focus on what you can control. There are always things outside of our control. Good Lord. I'm really feeling that this year. But fixating on them just leads to frustration. Like, oh, I want to fix it so bad, but I can't control it. You're not going to control the economy all by yourself. You're not even going to control the election that's coming up next month. You're not going to be able to control the weather. There's things that are happening all around us. North Carolina just got hit by a hurricane, and there's another one coming. I can't control it. Guess what I can control? My own state of mind, how much food I ate today, if it's good or healthy, what kind of sleep quality I'm getting, what kind of friends I keep in my corner, how much quality time I give to those I love. Focus on what you can control, okay? Fixating on them is going to just drive you crazy. Give only the energy to things that are within your circle of what's in your, the Lord even mentions just take care of your own household. Take care of that first. Then worry about everything outside of that. Just handle what's in your parameters. And let God handle the big stuff, okay? Number 9, regularly check in with yourself. Schedule time each week to evaluate how you're feeling. Are you stressed, exhausted, energized? This will help you catch burnout before it fully sets in. And again, this is, got to put a plug in for your mentors out here. Hello, coaches. This would be a perfect time to just do a check-in with your leadership coach, executive coach, mentor, confidant, whether it's a mastermind that you're a part of, whatever that looks like in your world. Maybe it's a mommy group. God, keep throwing in the single moms in there, or the stay-at-home moms, because I love them so much and I can relate to them. Check in with yourself. How you doing, girl? Have someone that's keeping you accountable. How you doing? I have some really great friends that check in with me all the time. I forget to check in with my sisters because I know they're going through their own stuff. Again, this past weekend with cousins and family and aunts and relatives, we all checked in with each other, did a prayer circle. It was really good. Highly recommend it. But we need to circle back and do some follow-up with each other as well. I have friends on social media as well that I've connected with. It's great to hear and see them from time to time as well, but even if it's just a virtual quick catch up. So do regular check-ins with yourself. If it's Monday morning, go, where am I at? Feel good from the weekend? How do I feel about this week? Am I losing my mind yet? Nope. Good to go. Just check in. Be real. Journal. I love to journal. I have journals all over the house. I'm not kidding. Someone could write a book about my life just by going through all these journals. If you could read my crappy handwriting, I do not have great handwriting. So do that. And take the time. Make a day of it. Check in with yourself every Wednesday, whatever it is. Put it on your calendar. Put it on. If you're old school like me, and those of you that are on video can see, I'm holding up a good old-fashioned planner. Yes, isn't that pretty with the dragonflies? If you're watching this on Spotify or YouTube, you'll see it. But either way, I love a good old-fashioned pencil and kind of planner. Number 10, can't stress this one enough. Seek professional help. If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't hesitate to seek support from a coach like myself or a therapist. Sometimes outside guidance is exactly what you need to get back on track. There is so much opportunity these days. You can get all kinds of help. I'm not going to make a plug for any particular one right now, as I'm not an affiliate and I've not personally tried them myself, but you know the ads. There's apps out there to get an instant therapist. They'll match you with someone right away, and you can do this from your phone. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to get in the car. You can just check in every Tuesday at 11 o'clock, whatever that looks like. Get the help. It's there. It's all around you. If you're afraid you can't afford it, your company might pay for it. Your company might even pay for an executive coach. Take a look into that. Leadership coaching, mentorship. Please look into that, because you could be taking advantage of it and getting that guide from the side help that you've always wanted. You'll benefit greatly from it. You'll not only have a more quality work-life balance, but you'll also excel in your career, get promoted, all the things. That's what we do as executive coaches. We help you get to the next level with your sanity intact. I should put that as a tagline. So those are the top 10 strategies. I'm going to just repeat them quick. Number 1, set boundaries. Number 2, prioritize your self-care. Number 3, take regular breaks. 4, delegate. 5, talk about it. Number 6, time management. Number 7, stay connected. Number 8, focus on what you can control. Number 9, regular check-ins with yourself. And number 10, seek professional help. As I conclude, I just want to remind you that burnout is real. It's affecting leaders, executives, employees all across the corporate world, and then some. But the good news is you can prevent it. It's preventable. By recognizing the signs early and implementing strategies to manage stress, you'll be well on your way to maintaining both your mental health and professional success. Remember, taking care of yourself is not just something that's important. It's essential. It's mandatory. Kind of make it mandatory. You can't lead others if you're running on empty. You've always heard the saying, I can't pour from an empty cup. You as a leader need to learn how to fill your cup first before you give to others. That's something that all of us can benefit from. And last but not least, if you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful, be sure to subscribe and share it with someone who might need to hear these tips. I'll see you on the next episode of the Leadership Lounge, and hopefully by then I am over this cold, because it's been interesting drinking and sucking on things and making sure I'm not going to start coughing, all the good things. Thank you for joining me today. I really want the best for you. If you don't have a coach, there's ways to connect with me and just reach out. I do free coaching sessions. It's like a get to know you chat. I do a little quick evaluation. It's at no cost to you, just to explore it. It will change your life. I promise. Big hugs, big love. See you on the next episode.
Hi there, friend. If you enjoyed this episode, do me a favor and double check that you're subscribed or following. And if you've got a quick 30 seconds, it would mean the world to me if you could leave me a 5-star review and share what you specifically liked about this episode.